Well, Danny, I'm sure that this is the last thing you want to do now. Our perfect home record is over, and our lead at the top cut to 2 points. We've had better days, haven't we?
Of course we have. I mean, obviously you don't want to lose games of football, especially in the way we have, because there's no excuses for that. Shouldn't happen at all, first and foremost. In how we conceded the goals, that should never happen. In a million years, that shouldn't happen. Just very naive from all aspects, really, in terms of, we're absolutely nothing in the game. It really wasn't. Cruising at 1-0, not under any threat whatsoever, and then we do what we do defensively, gets them back in the game, and then obviously still nothing in the game. It was very, very even. We've had a couple of very good chances, not taking them, and then we've defended how we defended for their second. We'll
come on to the goals in a minute. At the start of the game, it was great to welcome Lewis Fenton back to the team, of course, albeit in a rather unfamiliar position for him.
Yeah, well, not really for him. He's played there quite a few times, and he's played in a back three as well, right side of a back three. So he's familiar to that sort of position. So there's no real. We're not putting a square peg in a round hole, for instance. We know what he brings to the team. He's a good, solid defender, and we just went a little bit more defensive, based on what they could bring going forward. And off the back of Tuesday night, really a little bit open at times and too expansive, and we could have conceded a couple of goals on Tuesday night. So with that in the back of the mind, knowing what they could bring attacking sense, then it made more sense to just go a little bit more defensive and be a little bit more solid, and then we had the options to open up in the second half if we needed to.
Another positive, of course, Bunney can't stop scoring at the minute, can he?
No, he can't. He does well to get in there, get his body on the end of the crosses that are coming in. He times his run very, very well. He should have had two, really. We should have gone in half time 2-0 up. I think it was him who got a cross and he just got a toe on it. It went over. Should be a goal. But yeah, just bitterly disappointed.
To what extent did Sam Ashton making some great saves, particularly in that first half, alter the game?
Yeah, I think from our perspective, we've got to take the chances. We're creating chances. We've got to take them. We go in at 2-0 and it's a completely different game. I think it's done and dusted then, because they're not going to really come out and score 2 goals if they're 2-0 down, because then they're going to open up anyway, and then that's going to leave more space for our attacking players. So just really, really disappointed that we didn't get that second, which we should have done. But again, we can't alter that now.
We're so good going forward, particularly in second half. We've spoken quite a lot about it over the course of the season. Why do you think that we weren't today?
I don't know. We were a little bit slow in possession, moving the ball. We spoke about it at half time. Really reiterated it strongly in terms of just 2 touch, just move the ball very, very quickly. Even if there's no real forward pass on, move it side to side and try and get them moving over bigger distances, and then we could potentially get down the side and isolate their full backs and get some balls in the box maybe. Or just have sustained pressure in the final third. That was, the main priority. But I don't know why at all. I mean, we spoke about it after, and you've got to sense it. If it is that type of game, then you've got to do what you do, normally. Just move the ball as quickly as possible and work openings.
Trey Pemberton and Tom Clare were brought on pretty much on the hour mark. How did you envisage that they would alter the game?
Just had that different dimension and spark, really. We know what Trey brings. He brings energy, and he gets up and down. He really does. And we just wanted that impetus, really, just to give us a little spark into life, because we were a little bit flat. I thought he'd do that, and then Tom, obviously being the focal point, there wasn't really much space, but Nicky wasn't getting many balls into feet or down the side. So, just change it up, try and change the flow of the game. That was the reasoning behind that, really.
After conceding the equaliser, how do you think we reacted to it?
I don't think we reacted how we should have done straight away. Look, we weren't under any pressure. It wasn't like we were under siege, and they were absolutely peppering our goal with attempts, and that Marcelo had to make loads of saves, because it was the complete opposite. I thought we were in control. There was no danger whatsoever. Like I say, their keeper's made a couple of very, very good saves, and we've got in some great positions. It's just that final delivery at times, either rushing it or not just making that extra pass. You know, work an extra pass to get across in the box and make them defend. The more you make the opposition defend, then the more chance you've got of scoring a goal. We just didn't do that enough, with enough quality, should I say.
There was notable frustration from around the ground at that point. I'm sure you can understand that because, you know, for the Macc fans who've watched us all season, they weren't really used to that sort of showing in the second period, really.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we always say, you know, have the control possession, you know, wait for the right moments to get in behind or down the sides or get them in their in our final third, and look to get shots and link up play around the edge of the box. And yeah, we just didn't do it like we normally do. But that said, we weren't under threat at all. There was no real danger to our goal. They had a few set pieces, and that was about it, really.
Heartbreaking scenes at the end, obviously. To what extent was it similar to the Colville game? And do you think we were a little bit naive in our defending, bearing in mind we were in a situation where we were claiming a point, but yet still going for the winner?
Well, massively, yeah. Massively naive from all aspects, really. You know, we have a structure and a setup from set pieces. Corners 4, we have a specific structure and set. The way we set up to combat counter-attacks or when the ball's cleared, we're there to pick up the pieces and recycle possession. You know, I'm not sure, I'd have to watch it back again. I don't know where the ball got cleared. It was the second phase, the ball got cleared. I'm not sure why Brandon ended up on the far side, but he did. He's got to deal with it better. He knows that. We spoke about it. And then if a player's running past you towards our goal, you've got to do everything you can to stop him. You know, if you can't get back in, you pull him back, you make a foul. So in regards to that, very naive.
Do you think that the fact that Brandon was already on a yellow card played some part in that?
Potentially, I don't know. You've just got to sense danger for me. Whether you are a defender or not, you've just got to sense danger. Clear the ball, make sure that the opposition doesn't get control of the ball. Just be in the face and be ugly, really. Defend and then regroup. We didn't do that well, and we didn't trap runners out of the box because they broke from their box. So, you know, there's no excuses there.
I guess all we can do now, Danny, is bounce back next Saturday.
100%, yeah. That's all you can do in football. I mean, football being football, you are going to lose games of football. There's no way you can go unbeaten for the whole season. But there's a way to lose, and today wasn't how you should lose, really. There's no excuses. Every player, you know, needs to go home, have a good look at what they could have done better. Even me myself. I mean, it was, you know, I'll hold my hand up. Probably made the subs at the wrong time. Maybe I'll look back at that. I don't know, because, you know, the game needed a little spark. So we thought making those subs would give us that. But then ultimately, we've done that, and within a couple of minutes, they've equalised through moving Lewis into the centre back position. But, you know, I don't know. It's just me being picky, but I'll hold my hand up and take responsibility for that. But sometimes you're damned if you do and damned if you don't, because, you know, if we had waited to make changes and something had happened, then you'd be kicking yourself off the back of that for not making the changes. So, you know, it's one of those.
Brilliant. Thanks, Danny.